Good evening, everybody. This is Biboyharanero for a quick on-point review of the Machenike M7 wireless gaming mouse. So, before I begin, let's first talk about the versions that we have for this mouse. So we have the Smart version, which is the lowest of the tier. We've got the Play version and the Elite version. So the Smart version has 650 mAh battery capacity. The Play version has 1000 mAh battery capacity, and the Elite has, I believe, also has 1000 mAh battery capacity. Now let's talk about their features and why they are different. Why there are different versions. The Smart version can only be used wireless. Play version can only be used wireless as well. The Elite version, on the other hand, can be used wired and wireless. Now, the Elite version also has a driver on your computer. I believe you can change the DPI settings and you can change the mouse buttons right here. You can configure them and you can change the RGB lighting at the sides and at the bottom. So I'm not sure what the driver looks like. Again, we have here the Play version, so it doesn't have a driver. Now, let's talk about the cons real quick of this Play version. Right now, we have the Play version, and one of the cons of this mouse is that, number one, it doesn't have a driver. I need the driver because I need to configure the mouse buttons at all times. Now, that's one. The next con that we have is that you are bound to using it wireless. If you run out of battery, you need an extra USB port for this mouse right here. Big deal for me. Now, moving on to the mouse itself. So, we'll be talking about the grip, the battery capacity. No, that's build quality, grip, battery capacity, response, and the features. So, the build quality is shockingly great because if you press it with much pressure, it doesn't flex. It doesn't flex, unlike the Red Dragon mice out there. Now, this one is kind of heavy. It does have some weight on it because of the battery inside. Now, let's move on to the grip. My friend, if you have sweaty hands when gaming, or sweaty hands when working, you don't need to worry because the sides are rubber. See that? Sides are rubber, so you don't need to worry about it slipping off your hands. Now, the grip is a big check. Thank you, Machenike, for this design. Now, let's move on to the battery capacity. Again, this is the Play version. It has 1000 mAh battery capacity. It's lasted me for about 25 hours with the RGB lighting off. You can turn the RGB lighting off. You can read through. There's actually an off button here for the RGB lighting. Now, let's move on to the response. Really quick. I've never had a wireless mouse before, so I have nothing to compare this to. But comparing it with my wired mouse doesn't feel any different. Now, I've used it on Counter-Strike Go many times, and it just feels the same. It's actually really good for a wireless mouse. Now, let's move on to the key features of this mouse. Now, it has an auto sleep function, so if you leave it on your desk for about 5 to 10 minutes, it will turn off on its own. It will turn off on its own. Now, if you turn your computer off and it doesn't sense the 2.4 gigahertz signal from its USB dongle, click it and it will turn off. Now, if you turn your computer on and it then senses the 2.4 gigahertz signal from the USB dongle, click it and it will turn on. Really convenient. You don't need to toggle the switches at the bottom anymore. So that's it for my review. Would I recommend it? Definitely. I got it for 1,000 pesos. It's about 1,500 right now. I got it on a sale. So would I recommend it? Yes, I would recommend it, especially to those home-based workers out there who want to keep their desks clean. This is a mouse for you. Now, if you've got any questions, just comment down below. I'll try to answer them. If you've got any feedback on how we can make our videos better, comment it down below. Now, if I know my camera sucks, but then again, the meaning of this video is not about me. It's not about the camera. It's about the tech items that we want to review that's not being reviewed in the internet. I hope this gave you some value. Thank you very much, and I'll see you again next time. This is Biboyharanero. See you in the next quick on-point review.